Honestly, I felt obliged to release this video. In the world full of distractions, temptations, how do we properly navigate this place? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. What's up, BP Squad, and welcome back to another video. Today, guys, is the start of a series, and how I'm gonna format this series is gonna be like anime. You know how you have sagas and arcs and all of that good stuff? Basically, your saga is gonna be a large chunk of the story, whereas your arc is smaller portions of that chunk of the story. So again, the start of this saga is gonna be about self-empowerment, self-betterment, and for the arc, overcoming temptation. And you guys know we're in an overcoming temptation arc. Now, what is temptation? Something that we all struggle with on the daily, whether you're a man or you're a woman. And since I'm a man, I can only speak on my manly experience. So for my men viewers out there, whether you're young or you're old, you will greatly benefit from this. And if you're one of my lady viewers, you're still gonna benefit from this because we all struggle with temptation. Now, what is temptation? Temptation for me is the desire to do something that is unwise, that doesn't align with your principles, your morality, all of those different things. And we all struggle with temptation. Now, temptation can appear in so many different forms, whether that's alcohol, weed, sex, social media. Guys, have you seen Twitter lately? I guess I'm new to this Twitter thing, but I went on Twitter a couple of weeks ago and I couldn't believe it. It was like soft corn. And you know what I really want to say? I can't say the P word because I'll probably be flagged for it. But I was like, wow, temptation is everywhere, guys. So how do you overcome it? Well, the first rule of thumb, don't look at it. Simple as that. I'll give you guys an example. I have a family. I'm a father. I have a fiance. I love, cherish, and adore my family. But I'm also human. I make mistakes. Not mistakes that cost my relationships, but little harmless mistakes. Like looking at something I know I probably shouldn't be looking at. So say, for example, I look at something and a desire comes. It's always been said, be wary of the desire that comes from the flame. So that fire is getting bigger and bigger. And that desire is just growing and growing. You're like, man, you see something and you just mesmerize. So come back home, you look at your beautiful family, but those thoughts, they creeping in. That temptation is creeping in. And you're like, man, you start comparing it. You already have treasure at home, but now it's like, I want more treasure. But you don't fall victim to the greedy thoughts that's coming through. Because again, that's temptation knocking out your door. You already have treasure at home, but now you want more? And the Tao talks about desire. Free from desire, you can see the mystery. Full of desire, you can see the manifestations. What does that mean? When you're free from desire, guess what? You see every single thing. Because again, you're not attached to those desires, to those moments of weakness. You're not attached to it. There's nothing wrong with desiring to be better. Don't confuse it, but you also can be attached to desire. So talking about the second part of that, when you're full of desire, you see the manifestations. Well, yeah, I desire to get better. I desire to be able to handstand. When you work on those desires, you see the manifestation of that desire. Does that make sense? So again, when you don't look at something you know you shouldn't be looking at, that desire goes down. That temptation is gone. But if you're on your phone, you're scrolling through, just scrolling, and you're like, man, you see something that you know you shouldn't be looking at. It's gonna send you down a rabbit hole, because I've been there, guys. I know what it's like to be on social media, to see something that you like, and you're like, man, next thing you know, you close out that tab, you go on incognito tab. Because I remember when I was younger, that's what I used to do. Incognito, then you search up something, next thing you know, you fold. And you know what I mean when I say you fold. That dopamine release feels great. You feel good. But after it's gone, you feel like you're like, why did I do that to myself? Why? It's hard to overcome that temptation because it's always there. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. I mean, when is enough enough? But you might be sitting here and telling yourself, you know what, OnlyFans is only $5, $7 a month. I can afford that. I make about $600 to $800 every 2 weeks. And if you make more than that, well, $5 to $7 a month ain't nothing for you. Or you might be one of those guys that say, hey, Pornhub is free. That's nothing. I could just get mine off and I'm good for the day. I'm straight. But I bet you're gonna feel like shit afterwards. I bet. I can almost, no, not almost. I can 100% guarantee you will. Because I've been there and I've been down that rabbit hole, guys. Not with the OnlyFans, but you know with what? I've been there. So when is enough enough? When are you gonna stop? Because now we're in the overcoming temptation arc. It's time to do better, to become better, to embody every essence of that. Don't look at it. Leave it alone. That satisfaction is not worth it. Satisfaction is not worth it. Don't look at it. You know what I do? If I see something out of my peripheral vision, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna give myself that satisfaction. You're not gonna win over me. And that's where I become empowered, because I've conquered that thought, that desire. I became better. It's not gonna win over me, and it can't win over you. You're the ruler, you are the conqueror. Believe that. So fellas, and my ladies that watch this YouTube channel as well, don't look at it. Out of sight, out of mind. Number 2, resist the give-in by doing something else. You at home alone. You just had a long day at school, work, whatever. But you were productive. So now it's like nobody's home. You got the house to yourself. You pull out your phone, you scroll through, you see something you like. Boom! Temptation just came in. That's an emotion just coming in. Energy and motion. You just attach yourself to that emotion, to that temptation. And you justify it by doing this. You say, you know what? I had a rough day at work. I'm gonna stop tomorrow. I'm gonna stop this weekend. I'm gonna stop in 2 weeks. The weekend comes, you didn't stop. 2 weeks pass by, you didn't stop. But you're gonna keep justifying it because you're working hard. It's okay, I worked hard. I'm gonna stop eventually. I've been there, guys. I've been down that rabbit hole. So how do you resist the give-in, that temptation? Do something else. Do push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups. I don't like sit-ups, but do it. Read a book, stretch, resist the give-in. You know what happened to me when I used to have that temptation? I used to do push-ups. Now I got like 25. Next thing you know, I feel like a man, I feel like a beast, because now I conquered that thought. Now I feel strong. I just did something productive. Why would I do something unproductive that's not gonna be conducive to me? These push-ups are building me. It's building me physically, mentally, even spiritually. And you might even do that with weed or alcohol. It's so many people that's on the substances. It's crazy. With weed, that's the crazy thing. Vaping, that's a new thing. You might have had a long day at work, school again. What do? You go to the vape, to the weed, to calm your nerves. And you wanna stop. You want to. Your friends is telling you, or maybe your friends are doing it with you, but you know deep down you should stop. You know deep down you should stop. Resist the give-in. Get in shape, because when you really get in shape and you eating right, why would you put that poison in your body? Why? It makes no sense. Unless you grow on your own weed, and even then, I do not advocate for putting smoke in your body. Why would you put smoke in your body? When you getting in shape, you becoming the best version of yourself. Why would you do that? Makes no sense. Resist the give-in. Resist the temptation. When that temptation comes through, when that desire, that flame gets bigger and bigger, shift it. Go do some push-ups. As a matter of fact, pause this video, do push-ups right now. I guarantee you're gonna be fired up. Resist the temptation by doing something else. That's what I used to do. Doing something else productive that I know if I sit there and I masturbate, I feel that dopamine, but I'm gonna feel like crap 5 to 10 minutes after. I don't wanna feel that way. Because ultimately, I failed myself, I failed my family, I failed you guys, because you guys are part of my family as well. I can't do that. And I don't want you to do that as well. Be better, resist. The so-called rulers of the society want you feeble-minded, weak. They don't want you strong, they want you incompetent, addicted to all of these different substances, all of these temptations and distractions. Because you know what? If you rise up and start thinking for yourself, becoming stronger mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and also physically, of course, because that's what we do on this channel. If you realize your true powers, your true capabilities, you become a threat. That's why you gotta retake what's yours, yourself. And elaborating on that word addiction again, because that ties into my third recommendation on my third step, realizing that your temptation is an addiction. The moment I started telling myself I have an addiction, the moment I became real with myself and I say, you know what? I won't have this addiction. I gotta do better. I seen firsthand what addiction to alcohol does to people. It ruins them. What do you think addiction to pornography? You know what I mean. Addiction to social media, these different releases, these substances that destroys you. So you have to realize and be honest with yourself and say, hey, like I said, guys, I have an addiction. That's the moment that you can become truly liberated. So be truthful with yourself, guys. And it's okay. Because we all suffer to some degree. That's a part of being human, is enduring the suffering, but not letting it conquer who you are. So overcome that, realize it. Once you get out of that frame of mind, stop looking at it. When you come tempted by it, do something else. Shift the focus elsewhere, because you got the power to do it. But guys, those are my 3 steps to overcoming temptation. Pretty much 2, but that 3rd one was more or less just being honest with yourself. Be honest. Realize it, and it's okay, because I've been there, guys. I can relate. But that's our overcoming temptation arc. Believe me, we're gonna have many more talks. This arc isn't finished, because I want you guys to become better. Become the best version of yourself. That's all I want. With that said, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you are properly subscribed. I'll see you guys next week. Peace and love as always. And Ashe, keep the power.